This is sniping positions for World of Tanks. This is Studs Yankee. So basically, you can see that there is a BDR-G1B heavy tank up on the rail line, and I'm able to snipe across to where that vehicle is. This is on Live Oaks, and you can park in a lot of different spaces, and you can shoot up all of these roads as the tanks cross by. You have like 3 or 4 different positions that you can line up on. This is obviously next to the building. This is showing that I can hit the SPG from up on the hill. This is a spotting position right here. That's a spotting position. This is a position you can play on fjords, obviously where the houses are, and you can shoot through. You just knock the trees down, and you can shoot at tanks that come up on the upper area. So you got a little bit more flexibility. This is just showing on Malinovka how you can hit some of the tanks that are fighting the heavy tanks. This is another position on Live Oaks. It's also next to the building. This one I'm not sure. Oh, this one was because I did 1,000 spotting damage on the TVP. This shows you that you can take advantage of the water on Serene Coast and get a little bit more hull down. But you do got to be careful. You don't want to get tracked in here if you're drowning. This I'm not sure what it is. Oh, you know what this is? You see the slope over here, this triangle? It's possible that that's how big the grid size is for the map, which means that the map would be from the point here on the left to the point here on the right where the mini map is, makes up one grid location, and it's got textures on it. This is obviously Overlord, but look at where I am, and look at where I'm sniping. You know, there's a Wolverine up on that position, and I I hit an SU-100Y. No, that's a different tank. But you can see that I can hit that Wolverine all the way up there. This is an interesting position. If you're on Erlenberg, on the other side of this building is where all of the heavy tanks line up. But there's a little gap. It's a very small gap. You see it says armor not penetrated. I'm shooting through this little gap, probably at the cupola as they pass through. You can go, you'll see heavy tanks over here sometimes. And what they're doing is they're shooting through that little gap. This is obviously a vehicle. What I do at the start of the game, you see it's only 1 minute into the game. I start, I drive down, and I come down to this position. And then the vehicle's over here. He wants to go to where the medium tanks play in the upper northwest. But as he tries to cross over through this opening, I'm taking shots at him. That's what it looks like. This is on Province. I usually come down over here, down below, and I take shots at the vehicles up above. And the reason why is because if you take the upper level, a lot of things will block your view. And on the bottom level, you got a lot more flexibility. It doesn't bring in a lot of points, but when the enemy thinks they're safe, they're not. This is showing how the enemy is advancing, and I went down the hill on airfield. You see where it is? And we're shooting at them as they're trying to advance through the gap. So what they have to do is they have to pull back. This is obviously up on the hill on Erlenberg, and it shows how you can shoot through the opening at the heavy tanks that are trying to advance. It's obviously going to work better in the assault mode when you're on the defending team. That's what the position looks like. This vehicle, look at where he is. The middle, on the other side of this wall is where the heavy tanks line up. I'm out in the field, and I can hit the vehicles on the far hill. You see, that's what it looks like. The vehicles that come up over here, they think they're safe and they park over here. You can snipe at them from this position. So if you see them hanging out over there, just drive over to this position. This is showing on Serene Coast. There's a little place where you can get hull down and do a little bit of sniping. I don't know how effective it is. This is obviously Province from down below. This is on Berlin. Berlin has a lot of places where you can spot and snipe. And I've been playing near the building, shooting into the heavy tanks, but they don't cross over anymore. So now I play in the south, and I get way more spot damage in the south. So there's a lot of positions. In fact, there's a jump where you can jump over. This is obviously Pearl River. It's probably a well-known position where you can spot the enemy. If you can get here quickly, you're going to spot them as they cross over, and you can snipe at them also. This is going to show you that on Ghost Town, you don't have to be up on top where the sniping ridge is. You can be down below, and you can hit the tanks, which are usually heavy tanks that show up in this area over here. That's an example of what it looks like. This is me shooting at heavy tanks as they're arriving in the south from up above here. On Minsk, what I used to do, you see how I knocked this tree down? I would knock the trees down so when you snipe up the road, you could hit the enemy without being spotted. And there's a lot of trees. It's better to be on the north side. However, they changed the layout, so now it's like more of a corridor. Everybody can sneak across. You know, they don't want you to. They don't want the game to be a challenge. They want everything to be easy. This is Stu's Yankee. We covered this at the beginning.